Welcome to This Explainer. For way too long, we've treated human body odor like this deep, dark source of shame, like it's just a hygiene problem we need to scrub away. But the truth is actually incredibly empowering. How you smell is really just a reflection of your health, your diet, your stress levels, and this amazing microscopic ecosystem living on your body. It's a powerful, mostly subconscious signal. So today, we're diving into the fascinating science of the human body to discover why smelling good truly starts from within. I think understanding this science is going to give you a whole new sense of confidence when you step out into the world. Let's dive right in. So here's our roadmap for today. We're taking an inside-out journey. First up, you are an ecosystem. Then we'll look at genetics, sweat, and odor, followed by antiperspirant versus deodorant. Next, we'll cover the signs of breath, look at VOCs and indoor air, and finally wrap up with protecting your pets. All right, part one, you are an ecosystem. Before we can even begin to talk about smell, we have to talk about the trillions of organisms that literally call your body home. Okay, so everyone talks about gut health, right? But almost nobody talks about the skin microbiome. Your skin is covered in this perfectly balanced community of trillions of bacteria and fungi. And listen, they are entirely normal, super healthy, and absolutely vital to your well-being. They actually defend you from outside invaders and keep your skin's invisible protective shield, what we call the acid mantle, completely intact. But when this ecosystem gets tipped out of balance, a state called dysbiosis, well, that's when you start seeing irritation, things like eczema, and noticeable odor. So here's the big takeaway. Please don't declare war on your skin. When we notice a smell, I think our first instinct is to just scrub aggressively with these harsh, highly alkaline antibacterial soaps. But doing that, it disrupts your acid mantle. It literally wipes out your body's natural bacterial defenders right alongside the bad guys. By constantly stripping away those good microbes, you're actually leaving your skin wide open to be colonized by bacteria that cause even worse odors and skin problems. It's like leaving the front door wide open. You really have to work with your ecosystem, not against it. Moving right along to part two, genetics, sweat, and odor. Let's look at the actual mechanics here and get ready for, honestly, the greatest plot twist in human biology. Let's break down how body odor is actually made. Step one. Your apocrine glands release sweat. But here is the massive secret. Human sweat is basically completely odorless. Seriously, it doesn't smell at all. Step two, the healthy bacteria living on your skin, especially strains like Corynebacterium and Staphylococcus, they basically treat your sweat like a buffet. They consume the proteins and lipids in it. And step three, as a byproduct of eating that sweat, those bacteria release smaller volatile molecules like propionic acid and isovaleric acid. Fun fact, propionic acid has a vinegar-like smell, while isovaleric acid is the exact same compound found in strong cheeses. So, no kidding, you might literally share a scent profile with a sharp cheddar. Body odor isn't dirt, it's just the byproduct of your microbiome having a meal. And your genetics play a massive role here, which is just fascinating and honestly so empowering. If you've ever stressed about how you smell, please remember this. Biology, not some hygiene failure, is usually the thing running the show. Take the ABCC11 gene, for example. This is a specific gene variation that's very common in East Asian populations. People with this variation produce sweat that actually lacks the specific compounds those bacteria love to eat. And since the bacteria don't have their food source, those individuals produce almost zero underarm odor, like none whatsoever. Your DNA is literally dictating your personal scent. But our scent communicates way more than just what our bacteria are having for lunch. We also secrete these chemical signals called pheromones. Now, I want to be super clear here. Human pheromone science is highly complex and, honestly, clinically debated. It's not totally deterministic like it is in the insect world, but it is fascinating. For instance, studies suggest women might subconsciously prefer the scent of men who have different MHC or immune system genes than their own. The evolutionary idea is that mating with someone with different immune genes could give offspring a much stronger, broader immune defense. So, bringing this all together, scent is a truly powerful, mostly subconscious signal. Whether it's a mother recognizing the unique smell of her baby or those subconscious hints of genetic compatibility, the way you smell is sending a powerful message to the world about your underlying biology. It is your unique biological fingerprint. All right, part three, antiperspirant versus deodorant. Now that we know smell comes from the bacteria and not the sweat itself, let's figure out how to empower ourselves right there in the personal care aisle. It is absolutely crucial to know exactly what you're putting on your body. Antiperspirants use aluminum salts that react with the electrolytes in your sweat to literally form a physical gel plug right inside your sweat ducts. It actively blocks the liquid from ever reaching your skin. Deodorants, on the other hand, they let your body sweat naturally. Instead of blocking the sweat, they use antibacterial agents to target the bacteria. And they mask any resulting odor with fragrance. So they are doing two entirely different jobs. And a little historical context here is just mind-blowing. Metallic antiperspirants are barely a century old. One of the very first aluminum antiperspirants, a brand called Odorono, was actually invented in the early 1900s by a surgeon who just wanted to keep his hands dry during long operations. It wasn't until later that it was marketed to the general public for underarm use. Stopping sweat entirely is a very modern invention, guys. It's not some eternal human necessity.
Okay, moving upward from the skin to the mouth for part 4, the science of breath. Because just like your skin, your mouth is this incredibly complex, bustling ecosystem.
There's a dynamic equilibrium constantly happening between the bacteria in your dental plaque and your own immune system. And humans have been managing this oral flora for literally millennia. People used ancient, accessible tools like the miswak twig, which is this natural antibacterial stick, or they chewed mastic gum to reduce bacteria. Today we've got modern tools like magnolia bark extract and sugar-free gums made with xylitol. See, sugar feeds cavity-causing microbes, but xylitol actually starves them, which helps maintain that super delicate oral microbiome. Now, quick reality check. While supporting your microbiome is an empowering approach, please remember this explainer is just giving you general information, okay? It's not medical advice. Good hygiene, brushing, and flossing are totally non-negotiable. If you are dealing with persistent bad breath, excessive sweating, or specific skin conditions like rosacea, absolutely go consult a medical professional or a dentist. All right, let's zoom out from our own bodies to the environment around us. Part 5, VOCs and indoor air. We've talked about where body odor comes from, but what exactly is a smell from, say, a chemistry perspective? Let's look at the actual physics of smell. Odor molecules only reach your nose because they are volatile organic compounds, or VOCs. Volatile basically just means they're light enough to evaporate into a vapor at room temperature. These carbon-based molecules float into the air, travel up into your nasal passages, dissolve in the mucus there, and physically bind to your olfactory receptors. It's basically a chemical lock and key. That's the magic trick of scent. But here's the catch. Because smells are airborne chemicals, the products we use to make our homes smell good can actually wreck our indoor air quality. I mean, indoor VOC levels can sometimes be up to 10 times higher than outdoors. Everyday items like scented paraffin candles, plug-in air fresheners, heavy perfumes, and strong cleaning supplies, they release dozens of VOCs. If you've ever gotten a massive headache just walking down the cleaning aisle at the grocery store, that's why. For some people, these trigger migraines, a condition known as osmophobia, or they can even exacerbate asthma. Even burning natural incense releases combustion particles directly into your lungs. Now, you don't need to be terrified of all chemicals, right? You just need to empower yourself with safe, affordable alternatives. The absolutely best thing you can do is just ventilate. Crack a window, get some fresh air moving. You can simmer real citrus peels on the stove, keep actual indoor plants, use passive reed diffusers, or honestly, just embrace unscented products. Real talk, clean air actually doesn't have a scent. Which brings us to a super important pause. Part 6, protecting your pets. If you've got furry friends at home, please listen up, because their biology is radically different from ours. There is a major hidden danger in a lot of homes. Cats and dogs actually lack the specific liver enzymes needed to metabolize many essential oils the way we humans do. Oils like tea tree, eucalyptus, peppermint, citrus, and pine can be highly toxic to them. If you're using an active diffuser that pumps these oils into the air, it deposits tiny micro droplets right onto your pet's fur. Then when they groom themselves, they lick it off and ingest it, which can make them severely sick. So keep things well ventilated and honestly just skip the diffusers if you have pets. Oh, and remember that xylitol gum we were praising a minute ago for human oral health? It is fantastic for our teeth, but it is incredibly, highly toxic to dogs. Even a tiny, tiny amount can cause a life-threatening drop in their blood sugar. So it is an absolute safety imperative that you keep any sugar-free gums or mints strictly out of reach of your pets. No exceptions. All right, let's pull all of this together. Scent is not just some cosmetic afterthought. It's a profound biological readout. Smelling good truly starts from within. It comes from working with your body's microbial ecosystem instead of aggressively scrubbing it away. It's about managing your health, understanding exactly what's in your personal care products, and keeping the air in your home clean and safe. So I'll leave you with this final provocative thought. If your personal scent is truly a biological fingerprint, one that's shaped by your daily choices, your environment, and your microbiome, what is your daily routine signaling to the world around you? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, stay curious, and take good care of your ecosystem.